Let's look on now to motivation, all right? So we've got Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? So the definition here for motivation, a process in which managers encourage their workers to be productive and effective. We've got here Maslow's hierarchy of needs straight away. Now, if you're starting off here, we've got the pyramid here, right? So again, remember, you've got, these are the stages here: physiological, safety, social, esteem, and self-actualization. Now, what you need to note when you're looking at this pyramid, right? The whole idea here is once one need is satisfied, so let's say if it's for a business, if they satisfy their workers' physiological needs, the need directly above it is going to become the dominant motivator. And then let's say you satisfy their safety needs, well now the social needs is going to be need to be satisfied, right? But the big thing that Maslow is trying to stress, right, is that you need to look at where your workers are on this pyramid, right? And every worker will be motivated by different needs based on where they are in their career. And the main thing here is if you've got like self-actualization would mean stuff like your workers are free to work on like whatever creative projects they want, and they've got a huge element of freedom. But there's no point in trying to satisfy those needs if you've got workers who've only met their basic needs. They're not concerned about these sort of idea of doing these really challenging projects. They're concerned about meeting their safety needs. Okay, they're concerned about having a safe work environment, and then they move on up. Okay, so that's what Maslow always stresses. You need to recognize where your worker is, what needs they have satisfied, and then the need directly above it will become the dominant motivator. And that's, again, Maslow's theory of motivation. Rather than saying, okay, just pay your workers, throw money at your staff, you need to come up with a different approach. So let's have a look at the first one here, the physiological needs. These are most basic needs: need for shelter and warmth. How can a business satisfy that? Well, pay their staff a fair wage, all right, and give them bonuses in the canteen where they can eat. The next need then we'll see is their safety needs. So that means like they might want job security. Again, how do you satisfy that? Just give them an employment contract, okay? Social needs for workers, friendship, interaction, well, stuff like teamwork, putting people into teams, staff parties. A hugely important point is this one here, guys, flexi time. Now, what you have here at flexi time is the workers can pick their own hours. So like some businesses might say, okay, look, you can work any time between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. and you just have to do 8 hours. So if you want to come in at 6 and finish up at 2, perfect. Or if you want to come in at 1 o'clock and finish up at 9, that's also perfect, okay? So flexi time, the workers, within reason, the workers are able to pick their own hours. Another need then that you want to satisfy is the workers' esteem needs, okay? And workers will want to boost in their confidence. Simple things there, you can give them a better job title, okay? So anything like that. Again, put them head of a department. Praise, recognition, promotions, they're all ways of satisfying the workers' esteem needs. Last one, self-actualization. This is where they've peaked, and what you see here is that you just give them empowerment. Or share ownership is a brilliant one to use. Share ownership is when they get shares in the business, okay? So there again, you're tying them in that way. They get a percentage of the company that way. But again, you can only give that to your top tier employees, right? If they ask you to evaluate it, a great one to say, I would always stress, is that like, if you're looking at this here from workers' point of view, that workers may be motivated by different needs at different stages in their life. So sometimes if a worker is very young, they might not necessarily be motivated by their safety needs. They mightn't care really if they're getting a job, let's say if they're working in a shop and they're being offered a contract to be permanent. They may be more motivated by social needs, okay? And that's what you have there, is that the needs don't necessarily flow in that exact order as specified by Maslow, okay? Workers can be motivated by different needs at different stages in their life. As workers get older, absolutely, they may be more motivated by safety needs if they got a family, but that's what Maslow says. This isn't a one size fits all for every worker, okay? So that's the big issue there that you want to stress. And so the needs may not always go in that exact order. This sentence here is key, guys. Make sure you mark that in. As one need is satisfied, the need directly above will become the dominant motivator. You'll see that in all the market schemes like 2011, 2014, all those years, and they ask you the Maslow's hierarchy needs. If you dig those past questions up and look at the market schemes, you'll see them there. So that's it. That's all the main stuff there. I went through that quite quickly, guys, but just what I do want to stress is they will ask it in these 4 ways. They can ask you to state the need, they can ask you to explain it, and then they can ask you on the right-hand side here, give examples of how businesses can satisfy those needs. So you do need to, that box there, that grid there you see ahead of you, you do need to know that really, really well, all right? And then you've got your evaluation, or we write in there beside that as well, limitations. Okay, if you're in the exam, they say what are the limitations of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you have them stated there. But again, guys, be razor sharp on that. Anytime they ask, it's usually for 20 marks. That's 5% of your paper. Don't drop any easy marks there. They're very tight when they're grading it. Like even in 2019, if students had written the word self-esteem instead of esteem, they got 0 marks. Okay, they didn't accept that. So just they're very, very tight on how they mark you there.